catch the wave. Life is all highs and lows. Others fall.
Congratulations, because your latest blog has had the most readers we've ever seen on the website so far,
It's
right?
good. Yeah, it's a good it's been a build and then it goes, I mean, it's up and down, peaks and valleys, but some things get shared a lot more. And I think that whenever I talk about the band and money, those are the ones that people like to read because I think everybody's curious. They want to look behind the curtain. You know what
So
I mean?
for those people who may not have been able to read the blog, what was the blog about?
This was about emotional profit, versus actual profit. You know what I mean? So the cost and emotional profit in parentheses of touring. And so people get a glimpse of how much it costs us to tour and how much money we make. And this particular blog was about a weekend I did in Denver where I lost about $5,000, from doing these shows. And it just lays it out. For instance, we'll always get an anchor gig that pays, I put $4 signs on the anchor gig, pays this much. And then we can fly there and take the money and fly back home and I make a profit and I make some money. Everybody gets paid and I make a profit. Or we can try to book another show while we're out there and spend the money we're making booking shows. But then everything went wrong and it just cost more and more money till, I'm there just pulling my hair out going, why are we doing that? Why did I ever agree to book this? And then in the end, it's because I love doing what I do, So, and I think people really, really appreciated that, especially music fans. And it's good for people to know that their bands are going out and losing money if they don't have a record label giving them tour support money. So
That's what I thought was so fascinating is I think what most people normally think is the minute you're a rock star, you're making tons of money, you're traveling all the country and your dreams are coming true. Mm-hmm. And what really brought me into reading it was it's not always just the glamour life that we always think that goes on out there and all the planning that you have to do. You're not just a rock star in terms of a musician and singer, but you're doing all the business things and all the planning behind the scenes too, right?
Well, I am doing, we don't have a travel agent. I do all that stuff because I want my guys to be comfortable. I don't want anybody stuck in a middle seat. I want, the rooms to be nice because I pay the guys a certain amount of money to do the show and I want it to be great. I want it to be great for them. So I handle all of that, the travel aspects for everyone. You go to a travel agent and they don't know that your preference is a window or an aisle or whatever. And I know that about my guys. So it's always best for me to do that, I think. So, so my job isn't glamorous at all. Now they take care of the stuff on stage, like making sure that they're great every night. That's the important thing. That's all I care about. I just want them to be great every night. They don't have any other responsibilities. They get paid, they go, they're on time, they play great. They have a little party afterwards and do their thing while I usually count merchandise sales and collect the money because we don't have a record label. We don't have people like that working for us,
And what I really thought was really powerful too was how you just don't see your band members as a way to earn money. You really value them in terms of, the night that you had that cancellation, you were taking them out to dinner. You're making sure, like you said, that they are comfortable. So why do you think this story resonated with so many more people that in terms of making a connection?
Yeah, I think it's not only making a connection with people. I think people can connect to the idea, especially people in business where most of these readers come from LinkedIn and that kind of thing. It's good management. It's how to be a good manager, how to be a good leader. I feel like I'm a good leader. I feel like I'm fair. Occasionally we have a little bit of rock star drama with some members, but that's, and hurt feelings and this kind of thing. But I always try to be very fair. And I think that if you look at and read this blog from a manager's perspective or somebody that has to deal with people, you'll see that it's the same. I say this on the road when we do the speaking things, my fans are my clients, most places that we speak at, their clients are their fans, or they should be. The clients should be fans of theirs, you know, of whoever they're dealing with at a bank or whatever. And that's a very important lesson to keep with you at all times, and a good reminder, you know. So anyway, so I run the business like I would run any business, you know, and that's worked out really well for me. The record label used to take 92% of the profit. Now they get nothing. I get all the profit, and after I pay everybody, you know what I mean? It's a much better and more lucrative situation I'm in than it was in the 90s, for sure.
So is that why you were able to then write those lyrics for Found, that new song that you talk about in the blog from the Verve?
Exactly.
I thought those lyrics were so powerful.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that it gives a glimpse of what it's really like. You know, I get this urge to get on the road, and that's how the song begins. You know, it's time, you know, my conscience tells me it's time to go. And then later on, it says it's time to stay. You know, it's time now to work on new material and that kind of thing. But I'm always going to get that itch to get back out. And then when I'm out on the road too long, I'll get the itch to go home. You know, that's always been the way it was. You know, when we had our big album with the Freshmen on it, an album called Villains, we toured for 2.5 years straight. I mean, we were out on the road for 2.5 years. It was crazy. Like there was no home. You know, if I went back for a couple of days off, I'd stay in a hotel in my hometown. You know, that's the way that was. And I was always comfortable. And then when I got home, I was like, oh, I don't want to go back out. It's nice to be home, you know. But then once I get back out, I'm like, oh, I don't want to go home. You know, I'm having too much fun, you know. And it's still kind of the same, although now there are kids involved. So most times I can't wait to get back home. But I like to have a job well done. That's the important thing.
I think for a lot of people, especially at this time, we're all in that situation right now where we might have only known one thing and we have to try to reinvent ourselves. But then at that moment that you've discovered something new, you realize it was worth the journey, and it was so much more. It's just a gift that it was found. So I love the lyrics to the song that you had there. And so,
thank you. I can use an example of this now. Everything that I've done in the past 15 years since the creation of Lawn Chairs and Living Rooms house concerts have been efforts for me to get out of my box. And so doing that, going into people's homes that I don't know, knocking on a stranger's door who invited me to play and not knowing what was going to be on the other side, to starting to do the speaking thing in front of big businesses and bankers and executives and that kind of thing, to doing the speaking, to doing the blog where I'm trying to give advice. That was really hard for me. And you kicked me in the butt over that. You said, you should do this. You know, this will really resonate with people, and you've got a great voice. So you said, write the blogs. And I just wrote the blog like I was some other motivational speaker who was giving advice. And so far it's worked out great. So again, it's so hard to find these things, but when you find them, you go, oh man, that's the magic.
And to your point with that magic, just in reading that, what you inspired in me was almost like a new term from a business standpoint, because we all know about monetary profit. And I think that was where you were starting. But the term that came to my head as I was reading this, because I was asking myself, why does he do this then if you come back and you lose the money? And you said it was all about the people. There's another concept here. I would call it passion profit. So you have this profit you have from your passion that then gets weighed between it. And then you mentioned Lawn Chairs and Living Rooms, when you were looking for a new avenue for monetary profit, when your fan reached out to you, said, can you do this for me? It was your passion that connected with them. That passion profit led you to a new form of monetary profit, and you found a new way.
That's right. Found a new way. And it's been that way for, almost 20 years now. I mean, it's taken me down this path that I'm going down and continue to go down and enjoy 20 years later, So yeah, you got to pay attention to what's going on about you. That's for sure.
and to that point, I know that we've had a lot of people reading this blog. We want people to watch this video in case they haven't seen it. So what we want to do is find out from the people who watch the videos, who read the blog, what's their passion profit? What was in their lives that they've found? And we're going to invite you all to share it enter it in the comments or drop it in the comments on our website. And then what Brian and I are going to do is we're going to do something special. We're going to go through all of them and pick some of them out, and we're going to highlight them in a very special way. So if you are interested in seeing what we're going to do with this, make sure you enter your very best story of what your passion profit is. And Brian, can you do us a favor? I was talking about the lyrics of your song.
Yeah.
In case people haven't heard it, do you mind playing it for us so that we would be able to hear
I'd
these?
love to play it.
Beautiful words.
Fantastic. You bet. Here comes the restlessness again. Starts in my fingers, then I'm bursting right out of my skin. My conscience whispers time to go. Born in my heart, it's the only thing I know. I am just a pin drop in the map of their hometown. Out there chasing melodies with madness all around. And anything worth finding is never easily found. Another day out on the road. Funny how everywhere and nowhere feels like home. And I am a shadow of myself, twisting in the wind, longing to be somebody else. Leave it all on stage, then glide through the afterglow. It's counterfeit and candlelit, and people I don't know. In the small hours, in the smoky haze, are for poets and for renegades. But I am just an ordinary no one in the sun, fooling everyone. Here comes the restlessness again. I feel it in my fingers, then I'm bursting right out of my skin. My conscience whispers time to rest. My time is served in the quiet of a house arrest, and you could hear a pin drop, a solitary sound. I haven't any strength left to search a love profound, and anything worth finding is never easily found, and anything worth capturing is never easily bound.